just keep that groove. We're going to slow it down as minister in training sets the tone for the day. Keep it going, Simon. Just breathe.
Whew. I am. And knowing that I am, we know that I am guided by the one God that may have many names, but there's one God, and that God created us. And for that I give thanks. So right here and now, I know that there's only one life. That life is God. And that's the life that I am a part of. That life is within me. That life is prosperity, abundance, health, love, joy. You name it, God is. Claim what you want to claim right in this moment for yourself. And say, I am. I am that, all that I am. And in knowing that, we know this service is complete in the mind of God because the stage was set before we even got here. The vision was laid before we even got here. So all we have to do is show up and participate, engage, know the truth for who we are. And for that, we give thanks. So I'm blessing those who have provided a space of service today, our ushers, our greeters, our AV team, our music ministry, our security, everybody or anybody who had anything to do with today. I'm blessing you. I'm giving thanks for Reverend Derica as she brings the word that only she can bring because it's a gift to her, God to give to us. And we receive that gift in love. So I do the best that I can do right now is let this prayer go and let it be for what it is, and knowing that it's all done, it's all complete, because we are, and I am, and so it is. So at this time, if you are with us for the first time, I invite you to stand so that we can share some East Bay love with you. Thank you so much. And then please remain standing. Our greeters will provide you with a lei and a guest packet so that you can stay connected with us. Just stand and we'll give you some love. East Bay, let's extend our arms out and hands out to our guests. Welcome to East Bay.
Welcome to East Bay.
You're a gift to us today.
You are a gift to us today.
The God in us.
God in us
sees the God in you.
sees the God in you.
We love you.
We love you.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
We thank God for you.
We thank God for you.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
You may be seated. And just so you know, at the end of service, Reverend Derica will be able to greet you. She'll meet you in the bookstore. So do take time to walk down the hallway and say hello to her as well. And at this time, I'll turn it over to our music ministry.
Really?
Yes. And that's with Reverend James on bass, Martin Trousseau on drums, Dr. Simon on keys, and Reverend Queen Michelle Jordan, director.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, exactly, James. Exactly.
Sorry, and Robert Wallace on. I didn't
Oh,
see
yes,
you. I'm
Robert
sorry.
Wallace
I did
on.
not see you. Thank you.
So, Byron, I'm noticing a little bit of a James, can you hit that 1, 2, yeah. So you might remember this song. As I was doing research about this song, I found out that it was written by Jester Hairston. And it was a spiritual called Hold On. Michael Spratt, Christopher Hanif, come to the microphone, please. It's hurting the baby's ears, huh? Come on.
man stepped to me. He said, how can you smile when the world is tumbling down? I said, here's my secret. When I want to cry, I take a look around and I see that I'm getting by. I'm just holding on. A change is coming. Hold on. Don't worry. You better hold on. You can make it. Just hold on. Everything. Some people like to worry. Some people like to hide. Some people like to run away from the pain inside. Well, that's your business. Do whatever you want to do. But if it don't work out, here's what you ought to do. You just hold on. Hold on. Change is coming. Change is coming. Hold on. Don't worry. Hold on. You can make it. Hold on. Everything will be alright. Now when the troubles of life weigh you down, just lift your head up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When the love you seek is hard to find, don't give up. Keep the faith and hold on. Change is coming. Hold on. Hold on. We're ready. Just hold on. You can make it. You can make it. Hold on. Hold on. Everything will be alright. Na 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 la 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 hold on. Change is coming. Hold on. Hooray. Hold on. You can make it. Hold on. Everything will be alright. Na na. Change is coming. Hold on. You can make it. Hold on. Everything will be alright. Hey, 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 hey.
Yes, let's give it up for Michael Spratt and Christopher Honey. I got a little bit too much reverb on this microphone, please, Byron. I also want to acknowledge the next generation of singers coming up at East Bay Church of Religious Science. So we want to acknowledge Darius, Darius. So you too can bring your child into this choir and bring your inner child to this music ministry so you take care of your soul salvation. Amen? Amen. I also want to acknowledge as Christopher Logan and Joanne Karimu Johnson. It's too hot. It's too hot. Come to the microphone. I also want to acknowledge in 1994, I came to East Bay Church of Religious Science, and I was introduced to the Agape Choir. And there was a woman singing this song called, I am in the darkness. And you just heard her say, oh my God. Yeah, don't do it yet. We got time. Because she will sing you out this room. I want to acknowledge in the room Beverly Freeman. Let's please acknowledge her.
You know,
Sometimes we find ourselves looking for love in all the wrong places. Can I get a witness? We're looking for love over here and over there. And we're forgetting that the greatest love that has been fashioned perfectly for you has been on the inside all along. And so we're going to sing this song, and we're going to be singing a lot of pronouns. Don't worry, we're not talking to some white guy in the sky. We fired him. We're talking to the God who lives on the inside of you. And so right now, I want you just to close your eyes and tell yourself that you love yourself, that you appreciate yourself, that you like yourself, that you know your name. You know my name. You know my name. Oh, how he walks with me. Oh, how she talks with me. That I am his own.
You know my name. You know my name. You know my name. You know my name. And oh, how you comfort me. And oh, how you counsel me. And it still amazes me that I am your friend. So now I pour out my heart to you. Here in your presence, I am made new. So now I pour out my heart.
how she talks with me. How she talks with me. Oh, how she talks with me. Oh, how they tell me. Oh, how they
Tell me I am your own.
No bag and fire can stop me. No mountain can stop me. No mountain can stop me, 'cause and we're walking in the victory, 'cause His power bursts within me. No giant can defeat me, 'cause you hold my, you hold my, you hold my, you hold my
you know my name. You know my name. It's better if we do it together. You know my name. You know my name. Oh, how He walks with me. Know how He walks with me. Oh, how she talks with me. Oh, how she talks with me. Oh, how they tell me. Oh, how they
Tell me
that I am His own. That
I am His own.
This is the dream. Since the first day I got here, people said, what about the choir? We need the choir. We got to bring the choir back. How am I supposed to preach now? Woo. I had to come down and testify, whispered to Queen Michelle. I said, we're going to need to do an altar call, because I know when I need it, y'all need it. So it's only one of us. The East Bay Choir. I want to acknowledge James Jeffley, Martin Trousseau, Robert Wallace. And you know, part of the dream was to have a house band. Simon Russell has agreed to join us and be with us for 2025, so welcome him to our East Bay family. I walked in and saw Chris Logan and Joanne rehearsing, Karimu rehearsing for their solos. And I asked them, I said, Karimu, how long have you been here? She said about 15 years. And I know Chris has been here because he came when I got here about 17 months. And then Queen Michelle shared she's on her 30th year. One church, many locations. Woo, I'm telling you, it's worse than the Crips and the Bloods sometimes. I'm telling you. Radical oneness, y'all. Radical oneness. And we've been talking a lot about this one church. And Reverend Arlene, thank you to Reverend Arlene for just her consciousness and setting the tone. And a special thank you to her for taking a vacation. So grateful that we're learning to do that. But we've been talking about expansion, but this idea of the choir is that divine idea, the way it's expanding, and you see there are folks in there who are brand new, 1 year, 2 years, and then folks who are been here in the choir, started the choir. Tyrone Cozy started the choir, right? Medea's been here since the beginning. Folks who've been here and everything in between. Wendy, yes, well, yes, thank you. And we're going to lift up a lot of folks today. I want to call out the name of some folks we want to just acknowledge in prayer. Because when we say this thing, God knows my name. It's good to call on the name. Oh, I guess I should start with mine. I'm Reverend Dereka Blackman. And I use she or they gender pronouns, and I am the senior minister here at the Eastway Church of Religious Science, and thank you. I want to call on the name of some folks who have asked us to be in prayer with them. I want to call on Harriet Johnson, who is so beloved in this community, who is asking not for calls and texts at this time, though, just prayers, right? So we lift up Harriet. We continue to lift up Paris Page and Wendy Worsley, Teresa Smith, and is there anyone else we want to lift up that's asked for prayer? Inez Washington, thank you. Yeah. Rashida and Orion Hudson. Jelena Davis. Mama Joyce. Kablaye Buckley, thank you. Jalil Abdullah. This is a praying community. And I actually had planned on saving it from the end of my talk, but, you know, Spirit orders these things. Where's my phone? Oh, here it is. Okay, good, because I have to read you this. I was just checking in on James Glenn, who you know has shared with the community his cancer diagnosis. And I just said to him, "You are in my prayers today and always. I'm so thankful for you." And he said, "Peace and blessings, meant to speak to you. Want to give a testimony. The cancer is gone." This is my favorite part right here. The doctor spoke to me Tuesday and couldn't understand. Today? Yesterday was the see, I didn't even know. I'm talking to him about testimony, and I didn't even know. But that's a great birthday present. That's a good testimony. And we don't know all the time how it works. But the prayers of the righteous availeth much, right? And it doesn't mean, because, you know, some of us, we want to work it in reverse. It doesn't mean if it's not cured, you're not praying, right? It doesn't mean you're not righteous enough. It doesn't mean you got to go fix yourself. What I'm saying is there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it. Drinking water is not going to fix everything in your life. But not drinking water is going to hurt you. I used to not like water. Anybody had that problem? You didn't like water? Some of y'all still working it out. I didn't like water when I was younger, and I was probably about 24 years old. And I went to a doctor. She just asked me about how much water I drank, and I was like, I don't like water. And she waited a few minutes later in the conversation, and she said to me, "You know what your problem is?" I wasn't aware. I just came here for a regular checkup. There wasn't a problem attached to my sign-in papers. And she said, "You think you're cute." Well, as a matter of fact, I might, but especially at 24, ooh, you couldn't, you know. But it's not gonna be so cute when you get to be my age. You better drink that water. And I didn't like it. Some of the best correction that comes to you in life, you don't like it. That's why it irritates you so much. That's why it kind of gets under your skin, because you kind of have a sense that it's for you, but you don't like it. But I paid more attention to what my body was calling for. And you know, there's all kind of signs. Your lips are dry and chapped and dandruff. I had all the problems that my body was telling me what she was telling me. I just needed somebody else to say it a little differently. You understand what I'm saying? And so we have an inner knowing. And we call forth the people in our lives that activate that reminder, right? You know, you put a little notification on your phone, you got all these apps talking to you, telling you what you need to do. They tell you if you really want to have peace, turn off all your notifications. All those things popping up your phone telling you, look at this app, look at this app, look at this app. But these notifications from your GPS, your God positioning system, pay attention. Pay attention to the notifications. You'll know them because they'll irritate you. So you can just go ahead and apologize to your partner or your parent or your boss right now, or your coworker right now, or somebody in here you might owe an apology to. I know, I'm coming. I owe you a couple. I got it, right? But that's the thing, is that there's a power for good in the universe, and when you activate it with the prayer, like James Glenn does, you just do it with full faith. And you cannot be deterred or altered by any false evidence appearing real. Y'all know what that is? Fear. False evidence appearing real, because there's lots of evidence that prayer don't work. Because God didn't come on your timeline when you called. Or because you prayed for someone and they made their transition. Because what we want is a microwave God. We want a drive-through experience where we come here and we place our order, and by the time we get around the corner, we looking in the bag to see if they got it right, but stay out of them drive-through consciousness places anyway. That was the problem with the law of attraction as it was laid out. The way it was laid out is some people thought the secret is, I ask for money, I get it. I just pray that I hit the lotto. Uh-oh, I touched a nerve right there. That's not how this thing works. What we're talking about is discernment. We're talking about following the path, not because you are controlling everything. Following the path because the still small voice inside you commands you to act. Because you become sure of what is yours to do. And you pursue that with everything you have and everything you are. That is the story and testimony of James Glenn. Don't worry about how it's going to turn out. Understand the limitless possibility of spirit. Trade in that, work on that, because this water this woman was trying to give me is my body calling for it. These things, these tools, you have to understand you don't always know how it works. But just like that water, prayer is good for you. You don't have to have this microwave consciousness like, well, I only know if prayer works because I got that house or that job or that partner or I got that one or I feel like this every single day. That's not what it is. It's a tool like water that refreshes you, refreshes your consciousness, changes your attitude. It's just great to pray in and of itself. It doesn't matter what happens later. Your whole condition changes when you do it. It changes when you do it for yourself, and it especially changes when you do it for someone else. Whoever you're complaining about. What if you prayed instead? What if somebody called you with that same complaint that they called you with yesterday, last week, last month, last year, still telling the same story, and you say, you know what, maybe we ought to pray about that. Then we might be practitioners of this philosophy. I'm just saying. You don't have to have a license to be a practitioner. You just have to practice. And notice that the construct is practice. It's not perfectionists of this philosophy. Because if you think I don't gossip, come on now. But fortunately, I surround myself with people who are going to say, maybe we should pray first. You want to pray before we start the meeting? Let's do a little prayer. How you doing? As soon as I start going there, you all right? Because they're letting me know, like the doctor with the water, you don't sound all right. You don't sound like you're in your right mind. You don't sound like you're grounded today in your practices. So before we get to the business of transaction and activity, let's slow down a minute. Be still. God knows my name and my number. And praise God, I just surround myself with angels who remind me over and over and over again. So I have so much to be grateful for. I don't even really know where to start. But I want to call out a few people who I had an opportunity to just interact with over the break that I want to give thanks for. I want to start with Brock Ford. Brock, wave your hand. Brock has been purchasing toys. He's been raising money for years to do toy drives during the holidays, and people just call Brock because they know he's going to be out here giving to churches, giving to shelters. And so Reverend Ona and I went to Brock's house on Friday, and Brock had like the winter wonderland of toys, and just said, here, this is for our community. We usually do an adopt a family with Laney, but they're actually not doing that program this year anymore. So we are still going to give toys to Laney and to folks in the community who need them, and for Kwanzaa. So all of that is happening. But I wanted to say thank you, Brock, because we couldn't fit all the toys in the car that we have. We do still need Kwanzaa gifts, and I want to say this about Kwanzaa gifts is, and Brock, thank you, he also gave us a financial donation so we could go out and buy our Kwanzaa gifts. I would really like to request that the community goes out and finds Black-owned businesses to buy the Kwanzaa gifts from. So if you remember doing Black Lives Matter, even your little DoorDash told you what the Black-owned businesses were. So don't forget, go back, figure it out. We'll get a list together so we can do that. Hunia, can I nominate you to help us get a list together of Black-owned businesses? So we'll get your list together and we'll put them up there. We've got a few weeks still till Kwanzaa. And so we ask you to go out and just purchase things. We have a big Kwanzaa. You'll hear a little bit about that at the end of service today. We have a big Kwanzaa event if you're new to East Bay. Lots of children come in the community, and we always give out gifts, and we love for them as part of the principles of collective work and cooperative economics. Marcus Bookstores is a good place to start. Yes, absolutely. So we love Marcus, and there are many, we have vendors right here in our church. And so we want to support our folks, our artisans, and our local businesses as part of that. I also want to shout out again Chris Logan and I, thank you, Chris, had lunch with our incoming council person for District 1, Zachary Unger. And if you remember, we had the big panel here for the candidating forum for all the candidates, and Zachary was very impressive in that forum, and he prevailed and is our representative for District 1. And it was a wonderful conversation. So thank you, Chris, for inviting me to that. And I'm gonna tell you what, he's excited. He's excited about East Bay and all the possibilities, whether we want to build housing or we want to serve the unhoused. Whatever it is that we want to do, we want to adopt a school, we want to do job training, he's ready to partner with us and is letting us know what some of the needs are in this district and beyond. So we're excited to be continuing that conversation. And I don't think I see her here, but I also want to say thank you to Megan Weiner. All of these folks are folks who have just newly come to the community. Megan is an event planner, and she just stepped up and said, how can I be helpful? How can I donate my time? And so Megan has been helping us with designing the open house for next week. So I just wanted Megan put together a beautiful design for the program. And so we're super excited. The open house next week is going to be amazing. You're gonna hear more about that. I've been asking every week, how many people want to get more connected to other people or ministries at East Bay? Raise your hand. Look around. All right, so next week, October 8th, after service, we're gonna have a big open house, and it's gonna give you an opportunity to meet all of the people who are supporting the existing ministries. It's also gonna be the place to bring your new ideas. It's also gonna be the place if you don't have an idea, but you just wanna get to know some other folks better. All of that is gonna be happening after service next week. That's our ministry open house, and Reverend Arlene is going to talk to you more about that a little bit later. Today, you have an opportunity to get connected through our Revel Night Live, which is our new healing arts ministry that's going to be happening every Friday. And here, when you're ready, JJ, is a video about that activity from Fabiana and Chris the Alchemist, who have been working so hard to develop this for you. So many of us have healing to do, but we're also creatives. And so we're getting ready to start having spoken word, painting, ecstatic dance. How many people know what ecstatic dance is? Oh, look, y'all in the house. All of that is going to be happening every Friday at East Bay, kicking off with the preview today after service out in the fellowship hall. We were here yesterday decorating. It's going to be fantastic. Another example of someone very new and someone who's been here for a long time coming together. You got that ready? Awesome. Revel Night Live.
Revel Night Live is an interactive 90-minute experience.
An intentional space for thinkers, feelers, and believers who have a story to tell, as well as experiences to heal and integrate within themselves. Created by Chris the Alchemist and Sister Fabulous, this healing arts ministry welcomes you to revel in a creative sandbox, free of judgment, without fear, and willing to explore your artistic side.
Through spoken word poetry, musical share-outs, improvised ecstatic dance, and abstract painting inspired by one's own lived experience.
Participants will be given the opportunity to share, relate, and transmute their story into higher vibrations of personal meaning.
Come practice spiritual self-calibration with local creatives at East Bay Church of Religious Science.
So that's every Friday. We'll be here in December. And you don't have to be an artist. So that thing, I'm like, ooh, painting. Finger paint, we got finger paints. You don't have to be a poet. If you want community and the opportunity to be with people who believe in this philosophy and just want to have fun together. Just want to transcend appearances together. Wouldn't it be nice to have a Friday night with your like-minded folk? Yes, so that's the business that we're about. And there'll be a preview today after service in the fellowship hall. So once we finish with our food bites, they've been in here setting up. It's beautiful. It's going to be amazing. And we just want to support our new folks with their new adventures and ideas. Yes? Yes. Okay, I think that's it on that. One other person, when we talk about expansion, I say this thing a lot about closing the gap between the pews and the pulpit, right? And what I want to get clearer about this as we work on this radical oneness and the one church idea, right? When we look at what's happening with the choir and what Reverend Queen Michelle is doing, it is just this acknowledgement that we come from all different backgrounds, but something like music allows us to move as one, right? And this is what I've been blessed to see as we teach the classes, right? I've been talking to you about radical oneness and how we're gonna embrace people from all different political perspectives and all different races and sexual orientations, and all of that was good in theory. And then we had a moment where the rubber hit the road. And Reverend Darika got to find out what she really believes. There was a hard moment where we talk all the time about this circle we're building. We had a moment there, I just want to say, Chris, I just want to say, when you started talking about fire and the white guy in the sky, I felt you. Some of y'all was like, wait a minute, we already did hip hop and all kind of stuff last week, Reverend Drinker. By the way, the live stream is now accurate, so the whole thing is up there now. Apologies, we had it set to private because of Gabriel's memorial, if you were wondering, because Reverend Ona called me, she goes, what happened at service last week? Because all I saw was flim flam flow and a little bit of prayer. So don't worry, it's up there now if you want to go back and look and see Young, Gifted, and Black and all of that. But we have an opportunity in this expansion to practice radical oneness. And what I need to say about that is we're going to make mistakes. We're going to hurt each other. And what we want to create is an environment where we could have forgiveness, right? So I asked Misha if I could share this story. Misha Ferguson is one of those people that was around for a long time and then really got committed and did the new member thing and has taken all the classes. And Misha actually came and gave testimony about her experience after Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. So Misha came in to Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life, and she had some racial stuff going on at work. And she was fired up about it. And it takes one to know one. So in that moment, I was able to just be there for her and just let her know that racism is real, but just like the diagnosis, it's not the final word, right? It has power, but it doesn't have all the power. And what we want to make sure that we're doing is we're not giving it power that it doesn't need. It doesn't need us to add our power onto it. It's already systemically embedded inside our consciousness, whether we like it or not. It's there because it's the water we are all swimming in. So I said to Misha, take dominion over your life, over your thinking. Change your thinking and your life will change. And I'm telling you, in like 2 weeks, Misha came back with a testimony and we were like, oh, this stuff really works. I'm looking at her like, oh man, I felt so good. You know, when you're teaching, if you let the ego part get in there, you'll think you did something. I was proud, like, oh man, because I live for this. I am her. Do you understand? And so I showed up to Foundation with the like, all right, Reverend E, what about slavery though? Right? You know that's my story. I showed up protesting Oscar Grant, talking about Messerly as a murderer and lock him up. I showed up with all the stuff. So when Misha showed up, I was like, I got you, girl, I got you. But this is what it means to close the gap between the pews and the pulpit, because when the moment came where I had the issue and I got triggered, it was Misha in the advanced consciousness class that was like, hold on. I think we should be trying to use our tools right here. I got to take off my jacket because it was hot. It got hot in that class. And Misha stepped up and was like, I don't want anybody to be outside the circle of love. And I want to say that's what I taught her, but that's just the truth. Do you understand? And so this is what it is. And if you have children, you already know what I'm talking about. It's that moment where they spit back at you the thing you taught them. And you ain't trying to hear it. I had a friend who had that moment with his son where the son kind of reared up and was like, what you say? But my friend was in the wrong. And I said, this is what you taught him. Then he called my friend's mother. He got his grandmother on the phone, on his dad. I said, you gave him the number and told him to call her every week. Because he understood the consciousness of who to go to in the moment of conflict. He knew that his grandmother would be the presence of peace. Grandma got on the plane, flew out there, and ain't left yet. Because like a rock of Gibraltar, she shall not be moved. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you've got to have somebody who can talk to you. And what Misha said to me when I asked her if I could tell the story, is she said, just thank you for being open to that correction. And there were others in the class, Mother Gaia, Kimberly Satterfield, other people in the class who said, here, let me help you, Rev. You look like you a little stuck, right? Here's some things that we can do, right? This is the East Bay that I want. None of us are above correction. The doctor is going to tell you sometimes you think you cute to get you to drink the water. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes it's the one who is the most radical that has to be the one to tell you, hold up, Rev, I think we need to pray. I don't want, just don't assume, because in my mind, I'm protecting Misha. I got to check somebody who might say something that's going to upset her with everything she's been through. I'm protecting Precious, because I know what she just went through in the election. And Kathy, I'm protecting my people. Like, okay, we got to protect. But what happened to radical oneness, Rev? Who am I protecting from? The enemy? I thought ain't you the one that's been preaching week after week after week after week? Right? Did you say all year? Who said that, Z? All year. That's right. But this is the thing. I didn't say that if you teach it, if you believe it, if you preach it, if you affirm it, the challenge is not going to happen. That's why you keep affirming it over and over and over again. So when somebody says it back to you in the moment where you have fumbled, you recognize it. You go, oh, I guess I probably should pray. Maybe the minister should pray. Sometimes I go out to dinner with folks, and then I'll be in there with my friend. Somebody will go, do you want to pray? And I'm like, I'm hypoglycemic. I'll be trying to blame it on something else. You know, I have to, I'm fasting and, something else. But do you understand what I'm saying? Don't think that because you practice this philosophy, you are going to be above making mistakes in it. If you practice this philosophy right, you're going to make mistakes because you're human. That's what we're going to do. So when I'm talking about this radical oneness and us being one community, Misha said to me, she goes, the reason why I had to protect in this instance around what could be perceived as a racial issue is because sometimes I get the pronoun thing wrong. Sometimes I might misgender somebody, and trust me, I do too. I have, right? I've gotten it wrong. And so if I'm willing to cast somebody else out because of the mistake they made, or maybe it wasn't even a mistake, it don't even matter. The point is, if I'm willing to cast somebody outside the circle of God and say, this one we don't want here, As long as I'm willing to do that, then it could be me. And in fact, let me give you a little clue. It will be you. There's some place that you're probably already feeling drawn outside the circle. Maybe it's in your family. Maybe it's in your relationship. Maybe it's with your child. There's some place you're already feeling outside the circle, and that's what motivates us sometimes to want to put somebody else out. Well, they put me out. You're going to get them back. That's how we justify it, right? So I thank you, Misha, for creating the vibration of teachers and learners, and I can't wait for you to become a practitioner. I'm so excited. She's like, well. When we're talking about expansion, we're going to have to shift the way we're thinking. We're all going to be teachers and learners. We're also going to have to shift our consciousness around need and lack. Reverend E says all the time, we already have everything we need right here in this church, whether it's in person or it's on Love Stream. I love that Reverend Michael says that. Hi, Love Streamers, right? So we've been working through our ministries and how do we create expansion in them so that people are welcomed in with new ideas. And Arlene and I have had probably about 3,000 meetings where we've been talking about how we need to get better. Because I gave the shout out to Megan Weiner, who put the plan together for the open house, but she's still waiting on a reply from me. And some of y'all know that that's the area of growth for opportunity for me, is getting back to people right away with the efforts that, and some of you have brought ideas to the church. How many people had an idea or a project for the church and you hadn't heard back, or you're waiting hopefully one day, right? A lot of those, look around, right? A lot of those people left and didn't come back. Like, I have to keep it real about myself and my own shortcomings. And Marianne Manilov was a practitioner. She actually became practitioner with James Glenn. And Marianne's been here a couple of times last year, but she's busy, she's traveling, she's doing all kind of things. But Marianne called me and said, God is downloading 1,000 ideas for you, from me, through me, and I want to help you. I'm here to help. And Marianne is literally by profession a consultant on volunteer engagement. And for 30 years, right? And when we were at Preservation Park, she did a study on East Bay. And she found that even in our heyday, when we had 1,200 people and 3 services, our turnover, people who came and left, was what? 40%. Even then. So what that meant is when we were 1,200, we could have been 5,000. Because we didn't have the thing that creates community, that makes us one church. And that is, I see a lot of folks nodding, but I'm about to have you go to work. The thing is, we had to be open to connecting with new people. Right? So Bliss and the Women's Empowerment has just said, come on, everybody. And we have folks who are finding their place there. And so we have to have that thing. And Marianne told me she interviewed Rick Warren. Y'all know Rick Warren, the Purpose Driven Church. And his principal rule is his job is to say yes. And I was like, ooh, that was not my principle. His job is to say yes to everyone in the congregation who comes with an idea, with a new energy. His job is to make it easier for them. Lord, we got work to do. Because this has not been our culture. It has not been our culture just to say yes to everything. But why not? Isn't that what we teach that God says? And when you bring me the treatment box up here, I'm going to say, God says every prayer, the answer is yes. So it's a new day, East Bay. The answer is yes. Now I'm going to tell you what else Marianne said. Because you know it's always something that goes with that. She said it's got to be something you and 2 other people can accomplish. Because, see, here's what happens. Everybody comes with an idea of something Reverend Derica or Reverend Arlene ought to do. right? So it's got to be, oh, okay, it's different now. I am not, I know it looks like it says suggestion box on my forehead, but what I'm talking about is you getting together with 2 other people and owning the idea and bringing it to fruition. And all of our ministries, every single one, is a place of yes, starting today. It's a place of yes. People have come to me with ideas for the prison ministry, come to me with ideas for health and wellness. Greg just wrote to me about doing support for parents and youth and family. The answer is yes, yes, and yes. Now, I need to tell you, Reverend Deborah says your ministry, if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. I am terrified right now, like, oh my gosh. And I know, my board people are like, this is about to be interesting. I know it's gonna be interesting, but I'm just going where God told me to go. Do you understand? God had Mary Ann Maniloff call me on the phone and said, this is what you need to do. And I knew it because something has been in the way of us getting to where we need to be. And part is constriction. It's fear. And I didn't even know I was afraid, but it's just that controlling thing. It's fear. I'm talking about me, but I know I'm not just talking about me, because I know some of y'all personally. The controlling thing, let it go. You cannot expand and constrict at the same time. If you got the constriction that this is the way it has to be. I've talked Tyrone and Reverend Anthony, I've talked. It can't be the men's ministry, can't be just what they want it to be. And they opened up. And yesterday, I was like, I get the call talking, Chris Logan was there, Chris Hanif was there, and then Lucian was there. And this is what happens when you let go and make space for something new. So this is what we're doing, East Bay. Take a breath. Whatever it used to be, it can still be that. And more. And more. This is the opportunity for expansion. And just like it's happening in this church, it's happening in your own consciousness. Expand your idea of what's possible in your family. Let's go right there. It's the holidays, and this is a hard time for a lot of folks. Let's not act like it's all just be merry. Some of us, I've done 9 memorials this year. Gabriel's made 9. And I personally knew every single one of those folks. Some of them I've loved my whole life, right? It's a hard time to be talking expansion, but the hard time is the best time. This is the time to hold fast to what it is that we believe. This is the time to find out what you really mean is when it's hard and when it hurts. So start with your family or your partner, or if your church is your family, start right there. But start with whoever's closest to you, which means you're going to have to start in the mirror. That's where the story is. That's where the problem lies. That's where the only challenge is if you're not looking at that image and seeing the presence of spirit, the presence of love, the presence of God, then that's the thing that needs to be healed in order for us to move as one church, as a healing force in the world. We've got to start with healing ourselves. And so that's what we're doing today. All of this talking about the ministries, that's just a model for how we do it in our relationships, for how we do it in our jobs. This is just a model for how we do it with our body, with our nutrition, with our exercise, with our health, with what we ate last week. We just gonna let that go. Start over again today. We just gonna let that go. That was, once a year. The Bible says, physician, heal thyself. But the ancient wisdom in Kemet, which you may know as Egypt in the Luxor temple, says, first know thyself. Know thyself, and you will know the gods. Take time now. As we fortify ourselves for this holiday season, take time now to look in the mirror, to sit with the sunrise, to listen for the still small voice of God, because it's whispering to you everything you need to know. It's sending the people right now, but you've got to listen and know this is what I've been praying for, is for someone to come and tell me, it's a little bit off. You're a little bit out of order, Rev. This, everything we need, you've been doing the work. You've been coming here and saying that God is the only power in my life. You've been coming here and doing the work. It's coming to you now. Look out for it. Keep doing your affirmations. Call a practitioner. Go see somebody right after service, right back here. There's no need to leave and keep holding on to the old story. It's time. It's time for a new story. Somebody can know the truth with you when it's hard to know, but we have to let that in. To practice radical oneness, we're going to have to forgive ourselves. We're going to have to believe that God knows our hearts. Spirit knows our name. What does that mean? What does it mean? It means you are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are not bereft. You are not alone. All you need is you and Spirit. That's a majority. And then just find one other person where the two of you touching and agreeing can ask for whatever you will. And it shall be granted unto you, not like a microwave, not like a drive-through, but like an edification of your conscience, just like a remembering who and whose I am. That's the fortification that we need. That's the guidance that we need. That's the healing balm in Gilead. It's just knowing what you know. I know that God is all there is, regardless of appearances, and it heals me. I know that even when I fall short, God knows my name. God knows my heart. God is my heart. The truth about who and whose I am. So just bring the prayer box now, because it feels like it's just time. Can I ask the practitioners if you're available for a prayer after service, if you would just come to the front now. Queen Michelle, you ready? We're going to have an altar call today, because I know when Queen Michelle was singing and the choir was singing, God knows my name, something moved in me.
God knows my name.
So right here and right now, I just know that there is a peace and presence that passes all understanding. I know there's a perception that there's a problem in your life. I know that there's a feeling of lack, of limitation, of I'm not ready, I'm not worthy, I don't know how. It's okay. We don't have to know how, because God knows. Spirit knows. And this thing is not outside of us, it's inside of us. And so your God can look like in the sky if you want to. It can be a white man, a black woman, it can be whoever you need it to be. But what's important is not what it looks like. What's important is what it feels like. And you don't know what it feels like unless you call on it. And so right now, it's time today, not just to say God knows my name, but I'm calling on that spiritual energy. I'm calling on that divine love force. I don't care what name we use. I care that we feel it and that we allow it to heal us. Come on, Queen Michelle.
Feel it moving within me, yeah. Feel Spirit moving, and I say yes, yes.
If you feel moved, on down front. If you feel moved, you can come down front like the old school and just get this extra love, this extra prayer. Just come on down here and say, I'm willing to have a different story now. I'm willing to be changed. I'm willing to let it all go. I'm willing to be healed. Wilt thou be made whole is the only question Jesus said, is wilt thou be made whole? Wilt thou be made whole? We're already whole. We're already free. You're not forgotten. Practitioners, join me in a chamber of prayers. We lift up our voices all around each and every person, whether you made it to the front or whether you're watching online. No, we're praying with you. We don't have to know the story. We just know the truth. Practitioner, join. Speak your word, practitioners, and just knowing that right here and right now, you can speak your word on your own behalf. I know that there is nothing but the presence of God. I know that this presence is a power unto the universe. I know that it blesses each and every person here, that it is the truth about our divine prosperity. I am prosperous. I am joy. I am healed. I am whole, perfect, and complete. And I know it's true for each and every person here because there's only one of us. There's only one of us. So everything that's true for Reverend Darika is true for each and every person here. Is true for all of our loved ones, wherever they are. Spirit, we just invite you to just touch hearts today, to just change minds today, to just heal bodies today, to just show up in the form of finances, show up in the form of unconditional love, show up in the form of the right proper vocation, show up in the form somebody needs a friend today. What a friend we have in the spiritual truth in these teachings. And so I just know and I touch and I agree and I claim and I just give thanks. I give so much thanks for the presence of God. I give thanks for this East Bay Church. I give thanks for this music ministry. I give thanks. I give thanks for the presence and power of God. We need the Holy Ghost in here today because I feel it in the spirit. I give thanks for what the healing is. I know. I thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you for this teaching. Thank you. Thank you for this church. Thank you. Thank you for Reverend E. Thank you for Reverend Queen Michelle. I could call. Thank you for my grandmother. Thank you. Thank you. Say thank you to somebody right now. Just say thank you because somebody got you here. Say thank you to somebody right now. Gratitude. Gratitude heals it all. Say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you.
Transformation right now. Breathe it in. And I encourage you, if you need to lift those hands up just to shift the energy in the body. Pulling it in from Father Sky and pulling it in from Mother Earth. And we just breathe it in.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Giving thanks for this and for so much.
And so it is. Ashe, amen, aho, and so it is. And so it ever, ever shall be.
All right, spread that love. Spread that love. Wow. Look at God.
Practitioners are available right now for prayer.
Practitioners, don't go back to your seats.
Yeah, just come on up here because folks are ready. So you can go ahead and head in. I know we got offering and all kind of good things to do, but the best offering we could give you is a prayer. Reverend Arlene.
So it is our time for gracious giving. And I invite you to just take a moment to activate your gratitude for all that's happened here today. Just breathing in all the gifts that we've been given through the word, the music, and our presence here together in love. Just hold that. Thank you. So we talked about expansion. Expansion should be part of our theme. We haven't quite mastered out that yet, but I believe expansion is a big part of that. Growing from the inside out. Because from the inside, all good comes out. And this is our time for gracious giving, where we share of our prosperity, giving back to the community, and which is expanding. For an expanding community, we know there's expanding prosperity. So I invite you to affirm with me our affirmation that comes on the screen shortly. And just knowing that, we said it earlier, I am what God made me. And we know that God makes us abundant. We are an abundant community, and we're an abundant giving. So our affirmation reads, and let's do it together. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive, and so it is. And the ushers will come towards you and serve you at this time to receive your gifts. And there are many ways to give. You can see those on the screen using the QR code, texting, and you can always mail a check in to this church.
There's a flame of light burning in my soul, together shining in the night. There's a flame of light. Together, shining in. We are one voice, one light shining, singing in the night.
They're coming back. So we give thanks for our gifts, the divine intention of abundance flowing through our community. We know that each gift goes forward, not only blessing us internally, but the world beyond. So I'm giving thanks. I release the gifts into the universe and allow it to be, and so it is. Yes. We have an opportunity to give a little bit extra the next couple of days through Giving Tuesday. East Bay's participating in that. You'll see a message from us if you haven't received it already. Another one will go out tomorrow. We just want to give everybody the opportunity to contribute to the continued growth and expansion of our community. So thank you. So we have a few announcements we want to share. So we have a few announcements we'd like to share briefly before we leave today. Some exciting things are happening, actually always exciting here at East Bay. This afternoon at 1:30, the Pathway to Fatherhood meets here in the sanctuary. You can see Reverend Anthony if you have questions about that event coming up. It's every Sunday at 3:30 today. The book of the month is the Abundance Book. And you can pick that up in the bookstore, learn more about abundance and prosperity, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it in the Sundays to come. Revel Night Live. Reverend Derica spoke about this earlier. We have a preview this afternoon right after service, after you have your snack in the fellowship hall. So please join Fabiana and Chris, the Alchemist, together as we rise up something new for our community that serves all of us. Next week, the ministry open house. You've heard the call, so all you have to do is answer. So we invite you to come out next Sunday to be a part of that experience. It's our first one, I believe, in a while, and this is an opportunity to learn about what we have, discover what we have, connect with others, and bring your ideas. Reverend Derica's laid it out nicely. We're doing things different going forward, so we look forward to seeing you all there. New member induction will be on the 15th. We have 9 new members coming in, and we want to celebrate them. So we invite you to come out and recognize those folks who are committed to East Bay. And now we'll give Mr. Casey an opportunity to talk about Kwanzaa.
Thank you, East Bay. Again, my name is Amar Casey, and I'm representing the Kwanzaa Committee. In case you didn't know, Kwanzaa is this month. It's going to be December the 28th from 4 to 7 here at East Bay. So I've got these notes so I can remember everything to tell you about the event. Okay. Let's see. The theme this year is Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. How appropriate, huh? We invite families to participate in our Kanara candle lighting ceremony. In addition, we will have singers, drummers, dancers, and poets to entertain us. And also, I just want to say this, is that this is a way in which we really involve our children. And we really want you to come out and support the Kwanzaa celebration. You'll have a wonderful time, but our children really love Kwanzaa and get involved. And trust me that the principles that we are teaching are like seeds. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it's doing much, but when I see our grown children now, Maria and I, we see them doing some wonderful positive things, we're like, where did that come from? Well, that came from years of the principles of Kwanzaa that they got. We didn't think they was paying attention, but they were. So understand that it really does matter. Now, at the end of the program, we give Zawadi free gifts. We try to give educational gifts to the children, and it will be handed out to all the children. And last but not least, we have a Karamu collective feast featuring some of our congregation's best dishes. And finally, I want to mention that we have a Kwanzaa table in the back of the sanctuary where you can sign up to bring a dish, or you can sign up to volunteer into the many activities regarding the Kwanzaa. We need volunteers to help us with creative contributions, if you're a poet or a singer or something else, food distribution, decorations, ushering on the day of the event, and set up and clean up. We need help there. Please stop by at the Kwanzaa table, let's see, and donate a gift to the children, and make a food contribution. Now, monetary donations could be made at the Kwanzaa table, through the East Bay website, or the kiosk here in the church. And finally, I want to mention that we will be having a Kwanzaa bake sale next week. And so, if you also want to contribute to that, that is welcome. That gives us the church helps us tremendously to put on this Kwanzaa, but we try to add to that through the donations we get through the bake sale. So thanks for all your support and help over the years. We look forward to seeing you at our Kwanzaa celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Amar. I think this is year 16, is that correct? This is the 16th year for Kwanzaa? 27, sorry. Second. I was close. And the next, we have one more announcement. We have going to launch the New Year's Eve celebration on the 31st of this month from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I invite you all to join. More to come about that activity. So at this time, I would like to recognize anyone who's here, in addition to the folks who were here earlier for the first time. Because we did an acknowledgement earlier. Just want to make sure we don't miss anybody that came in a little bit later. Okay, great. With that, Reverend Derica will meet you all in the back and take you towards the bookstore. And remember, we have a few things happening today, and I'm going to turn it over to Reverend Michelle to close us out with her benediction.
The birthday song?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, do that.
So right where we are, as we just come together for a moment to close the gates of this service, choir, we know that we meet here never separated from one another, that we're guided,